Oscars on Sunday. You hear about the Grammys, the Academy Awards, and then there are the Veras.
The Veras.
Yes, your end of the year awards, Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Freshman of the Year. It's not an easy pick, but somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Vera Wang either. This is Vera Jones for the Veras. Well, let's start out with Coach of the Year, which you could affiliate with Director of the Year. So we're going to have 4 finalists, and Vera's going to select her Coach of the Year. Coquise Washington, the 2013 Big Ten Coach of the Year. Connie Yori of Nebraska. Susie Merchant, who's done quite fine in her 7 seasons as the Spartan head coach, and Kurt Miller, who helped Indiana to their best start in program history. Vera, who do you got?
And the envelope, please. It goes to, for the 3rd consecutive year, actually, Coquise Washington. And it all starts with recruiting. She had a top 14 recruiting class. This is a coach that had to put together 8 newcomers and seemed to figure out a system around her superstar, Maggie Lucas, and get Lucas to go into leadership. The result was 20-plus wins. She's had 3 top 25 wins. She's also had no bad losses, which is unbelievable. Everyone has at least one bad loss, not her, and a top 10 ranking. After a while, there's some great coaches in this conference, but yes, I think Coquise Washington has done it yet again.
And all that firepower that they lost, even she said to us last week, I'm almost kind of surprised that my team is in this position because of how competitive the league really is. Well, we talk about competition. I think this next one is probably the hardest to choose from.
It was.
And Freshman of the Year, I'm actually impressed that you even got it down to 4, let alone picked one of the 4.
I left a lot of people off. I feel bad about it. But the envelope, please.
The envelope between Laren Brooks, Nia Coffey, Amanda Zowie.
It's got to go to Wowie Zowie. Amanda Zowie from Minnesota, 6-time Freshman of the Week, 3-time Player of the Week, leads the conference in rebounding. Not easy to do as a freshman. That's just pure grit and determination. She's been top 10 or 12 in scoring all season. She's the 4th best in field goal percentage. This is a player that just really impressed me because she's so talented in a whole lot of ways. She's the only player to tally 10 blocks in a game. That is some serious basketball. Like I said, Wowie Zowie.
Another competitive category for you was Player of the Year, and there's some talented players on this list. Jordan Hooper, Maggie Lucas, Sam Logic, who we heard from earlier, Rachel Banham. Tough decision for you, Vera. Who do we go with?
I had to use my steak and lobster theory. It came down to Jordan Hooper, and I'll explain steak and lobster. See, she's not just good in scoring, that would be the steak, but she's also a top rebounder. That is the lobster. And it really, for me, Maggie Lucas was right in there. You had Rachel Banham, who was a great scorer, but Jordan Hooper is that one player. I think if you ask any coach, if I can give you a player who's going to get you 20 points, coach, would you take her? I'm sure everyone would say yes. But what if I could give you a player that's going to give you 20 points and probably 10 rebounds a game? Which one would you take? I think every time you're going to take that player is going to give you 20 and 10. She's just an amazing scorer, and she's also developed into a bit of a leader for her team as well. So tough decision, but I had to go with her.
And again, how balanced this league is makes all of those choices really,
Very
tough.
difficult.
You did a great job. How about one more? Maybe someone off the radar that we didn't see coming into this year. Your most improved player would be who?
My most improved player is by far Saisha Gori. This is a player that last year, in fact, in her career total, 13 points and 6 rebounds coming into her junior season. She put up 30 points and 19 rebounds versus Illinois, 20 points and 10 versus a tough Nebraska. She's shooting 63% in those 2 games and is one of the top most consistent field goal percentage scorers in our conference right now, and she leads the conference in conference games and rebounding. Where did she come from? All I know is when I looked at the stats and I saw a player that improved their point production from 1 point a game to over 12 points a game, that one was a little bit easy for me.
Telling her own stories, and our final category is the best storyline that we've had this year, the best screenplay, I guess you could say, of the year. What is the best storyline of the Big Ten this season?
Best storyline in the Big Ten would have to be the phenomenal freshmen. We have about 9 of those that show up just in top 30 in scoring, and the list goes on and on. I can't even get them all out. Northwestern has an unbelievable, nice little clump of freshmen scoring. We talked about Amanda Zowie. aerial powers. There's so many of them. I love Sierra Thompson from Michigan. Every time I start thinking, I can't even come up with them, but there are some phenomenal freshman scorers in this conference. That was really, really a difficult decision to make. And just think about the years ahead, where we're going in this conference with that type of firepower.
I was just going to say the future of Big Ten basketball here looks very bright for the next 2 or 3 seasons.